Hello. And this message, I wanted to transmit an energetic comprehension of what it feels like in the path that you would go to find yourself in oneness and then unity within your being. And the concept behind what you would deem as spiritual awakening or spiritual enlightenment or just awareness has become so ephemeral that the notions of it have been comprehended and exist outside of yourself. So meaning, in order for you to reach some point of something, our form comprehends that reaching as a path or a journey to something that is outside of our being. So a path forward to the outer interpretations of us. And so instead of interpreting things and instead of analyzing things from that standpoint, the way I wanted to highlight and the way I wanted to make it be aware is that the path to self, the path to enlightenment, the path to spiritual comprehension and to spiritual knowing, actually lies on and sits within your being through just the simple notion of creation. You are completely inseparate and basically indivisible from the wholeness by the nature of your design. And so through that comprehension, through that knowledge that within the way you are formed, within the way you hold matter, within the way you exist on this plane, only happens and only is of the wholeness that permeates your being, the wholeness that permeates all and is in fact encompassing the essence of your being. And so, the ramification or how we would unravel that is by simply coming into the acknowledgement and realization that instead of going outwards and seeking or interpreting self in the outwards expression, meaning trying to find wholeness elsewhere, the only place that the true notion of wholeness actually do exist is within your being. Quite literally, by design or by default, you would be unable to go to any other place in order to find wholeness within yourself and even the peace and tranquility of your being. It is an interesting thing to miscomprehend, because through that miscomprehension, we go into this lengthy journey of elsewhere, right? Seeking and looking and wanting and trying to find and find and find. But the journey of seeking almost becomes a journey of undoing, right? The journey of undoing everything that is not you. And so there's that nuance that does come in that presents itself as a very interesting play. But ultimately, if you're done with playing and you're done with notions of otherwise, the only thing that really needs to be comprehended once you're done looking is that everything that you are looking for, the stillness and the wholeness, actually are, quite literally are, the makeup of your being. And so within that, there's a point of beauty, a very still point of beauty that you can draw on and interpret on your own. within your own self, not through programming, not through knowledge of elsewhere, knowledge of someone else, just simply going within and connecting to the wholeness and the stillness of you. And so once you spend time undoing and removing all the layers of self that simply disallow you to see your wholeness, the only thing that will be left is the wholeness that you already possess within. And so it's a very minute nuance, but extremely important, is that you are a complete and whole and pure, and the essence of love. You are the essence of creation. And within that, you hold unlimited potential. You hold unlimited potential to self, to discovery, to expression. And the only thing that stands in the way is the layers of self you decided to put over yourself as a mask to something else, right? And so the step forth into acknowledgement and really kind of surrender into self is when you decide, quite literally decide, that you no longer wish to experience anything else other than your wholeness. And so with that declaration, with that decision, you give permission for everything else to start to fall away, to fall away from you, to unlayer your being, by simply giving yourself a permission, declaring the statement of intent, where you're done playing, you're done gaming your own self, and now you make a different choice. And so this is quite obviously a choice into self, right? Everything in your life is a choice, right? Whether you're seeking it outwardly or inwardly, but it is a choice. And so the essence of life within the wholeness is that you're choosing to make up your reality of whatever it is that you want it to be. And so enlightenment really comes when the choice is anything but anything but a choice into self, or anything but a choice into self. There's a small nuance there, right? So there's no other choice that you are making. There's no other choice left but a choice into self. I can say that it is simple, and I can say that it is unnuanced, and it's just kind of the essence of us. It's just there. But we spend a lot of time making things complicated because we are choosing to play the game of complicated. And we spend a lot of time bringing nuances into something that actually holds no nuance. And we spend a lot of time believing in things that hold no truth. But again, because that is the game we're choosing to play. And so at some point, you just stop playing the game. Cognitively decide that you will stop playing that game. And then in that decision, what will transpire is things will start to come to the surface, that the game will become very apparent to you, right? The game that you're playing will become very transparent. And so you will start to see the game that you play in your decision not to play the game. So, it is not like an immediate shift. It is more of the declaration into that choice then brings up the vision, your eyes quite literally open to everything that is the game. And then you can choose to unravel and see through the game and see through the play, and then slowly allow it to go. Almost kind of like a releasing of a paper boat into a stream, right? It is a physical manifestation of something that you have created. But as you release it into the stream and it flows down away from you, it ceases to exist in the being of you, right? And so just that release will come, and it will continue to flow more and more, and it will take time. But if you're committed to the decision, and if you're committed to apparent see through the game that you partake in, then by default nothing will be left. And then the centerness comes, and the enlightenment comes, or spiritual awakening, or whatever you want to call it. But in essence, just innate ability to be in stillness and feel utmost love for everything that exists around you. I say that realizing it carries a complete understatement of what that means. But once you start to touch on that essence, I myself wonder why I spend so long playing the game. I guess at the time it seemed fun. But once you make a decision to seize, what comes forth is so much bigger and more fulfilling and more nuanced in the love and the essence, that it kind of makes the game seem obsolete. And so if there is fear arising of letting go of everything that you have created and everything that you have married yourself into as your truth, and say, no, there's no way I can abandon this structure or this way of being or this way of doing, because there's a lot of emotion and feeling and perceived truth associated with it. I can say that what's on the other end is so much more fulfilling than any attachment or any game of self-gratification that we might have believed in and partaken in the past. And so I would say that it's worth exploring. It is very much worth finding your center and just allowing yourself to flow. It's a journey worth going on. As difficult as it might be, it is well worth it. So I hope it clarifies things for you, and I appreciate you taking your time to listen to this. Most notably, I appreciate you taking time to decide and actively make a choice of what is it that you want out of your life. Without running in blindness, just actively in awareness, make that choice into what is it that you are, and what is it that you want to be, and what is it what you want to experience. And regardless of the choice you make, the choice itself is enough. So thank you.